Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley, you could also call me Ash, and this is Ash Meowed, where I play Animal Crossing on my brand new island. So today I am super excited because I have to share with you my first ever build here on Concordia. To be honest with you, I don't really know what else to say here, so let's just head on over there and get started. So here you see everything I have set up for us. I tried to make this build as easy as possible for myself by setting out all of the things that I think I might potentially use, just kind of so that I don't have to go running around. This is like one of the most ambitious builds I've done. Not that it's going to be super cool. I'm not trying to set this up for like major high expectations, because please keep your expectations low. But if you look over to the side here, you can see that we have a ton of mini camper vans. These items, if you don't know, are from the Pocket Camp little prize thing that you get if you link your Pocket Camp to your New Horizons. And with these vans today, we are going to create a little festival. So over here, I have already started creating the area because these trees took so long to figure out. All of the trees down there are stunted, even the bigger ones. They are like medium-sized trees. And that is because I like the idea of there being kind of a perspective thing going on here. So like, I know throughout this process, some of these things do not necessarily go together size-wise. There is slight discrepancies here and there, but I just ask you to please suspend your disbelief and believe here that we are going to a Woodstock style hippie music festival. If you saw up on the cliff there, I am pretty proud of that idea. Those 4 items there are actually campsite signs, also from the Pocket Camp prize thing, and I think they look really cool. I like the way that looks as a fence. Obviously you wouldn't see it from above like that, but I just think it looks very rustic in a way, which is kind of the vibe I'm going for here. Rustic, but not super organized, because I imagine that there's a ton of people that live here and just like hang out all the time, and it's not the neatest place. So here you see I'm starting to place down some of the vans. I placed down that grass path. I'm going to try to put all of my codes in the description, so check there if you're looking for anything that I used during this. Although I will say I don't really use a lot of codes during this particular build because it's more of a tight space. It's more about the items and honestly the trees, because that really gives it the vibe that I was going for. I'm really excited about that tent umbrella custom code. I know that I had seen it before in somebody else's video. I don't quite remember, unfortunately, but again, I'll put the code for it down below. I think it looks super cool next to the vans because it's kind of the size that I wanted. I imagine that it's like a huge tent. Like, it's not a little, like, we're sleeping in this tent. It's like a stage tent. And speaking of stages, that's kind of the vibe that I was going for with a lot of the items that I place that are not vans. So for example, this bamboo lamp I imagine is kind of like a tent or like a little place that you can go into. Maybe those mushrooms are also kind of tents, and underneath them are like stages where like DJs or whoever is playing. That's kind of the vibe that we're going for here. So here you see me kind of taking a view from above to see how things are looking. They are looking good. So here you see over back there, I have 4 different types of fence. I was unsure which fence I wanted to go with for this, and I end up picking the rope fence, but I originally tried the corral fence, which I actually cut that part out, so you won't necessarily see that. But I do end up going with a rope fence, and I feel like it does look the best for what I am envisioning. So this corner also is like the biggest pain. That left-hand corner, for whatever reason, always looks kind of empty, even at the end. And if you guys have any suggestions of what you think might fill in that little space or make it look less awkward, please let me know. My vision for like the whole of this space is that you can kind of come from the back. So these vans, I imagine, are pulling down a road that's back there where the rocks are, and then they pull in to an entrance that I will kind of create later on in the very back, and then that's how they get into this little canyon. I also imagine that there's more that you can't see closer to the fence and like where your lookout point is. So when you're standing up above, you can imagine that there's still more below you, if that makes sense. So here I'm placing down some of the lava lamp, I forget what they call them, rocket lamps, I think. they're really big compared to the vans, for example. But again, my imagination with this sort of told me that they were like decorations. So they're out there in the trees and kind of given that vibe, you know what I mean? I also really like how the festival confetti machine looks where I placed it right in front there. I wanted to place 2 more, but I didn't have 2 more that were the colors that I wanted, and I didn't have any feathers at the moment, but I might eventually place 2 more there so that you can see them when you're standing up at the top. All right, so there you see I put the rope fence back. Oh, no. It's not. Oh my gosh, I am so silly. It's not the rope fence. It's the barbed wire fence that I end up going with. And that is what I think looks the best. Because think about the log stakes. I imagine that the log stakes, in correlation with everything else in this build, are like trees, or maybe they are a like blockade. So like behind them, maybe there's like porta potties or something for the people at the festival. So now I'm placing some balloons. Oh, the garland back there, the festival garland, that it eventually moves over, but that item is kind of where I envision the cars going in and out of when they come through to the festival. So they drive through the trees and then they end up in this little field area. So one of my hardest problems that I found during this was trying to get through the trees, because eventually there are too many items back there and it is very difficult to fix something in the very back without having to pick up everything along the way. I think I ended up managing okay, but later on you will see even there is a moment where I truly have to pick up every item and put it back on the way out because I can't get to the back. So maybe next time I do a build, I will start with the harder to reach places. But I will say with this particular build, that was a little bit difficult just because I needed to see how the front looked in order to kind of mirror that in the back and like get height where I needed height, etc. You know what I mean? These balloons are one of my favorite things about this build, only because they light up, and you know I love the festival items, but those balloons look so cool when you can see them just poking up from the bottom. Same thing with those little festival lamps. I imagine that there are people like going inside of those little huts, you know what I mean? Like they're like buildings or something. Okay, so here's the part I was talking about. I switched the garland over just a little bit, and that is where I imagine the cars are pulling in and out of, and then they wind through the trees and come out to park at the festival. People are probably camping, having a great time. How have you guys been lately? I've been working a lot and I've been very busy. It's kind of sad because I feel like due to that, I've been sort of neglecting my Twitter, for example, and also this channel. This video I've been trying to get going for a little while, and finally I'm getting to doing the voiceover for it. I think once the summer comes, things will hopefully be a little bit more easier to manage, but who really knows? Tell me about how your life is going in the comments. I would really love to hear. Honestly, I mean that. I love, checking in. I feel like it builds those friendships. So yeah, here you see me doing like a final check so I can see, and I think this is the end of the build. Actually, there was a little surprise that happened during building this. I did go over like the course of a week in game, and we had a campsite villager, so I figured I would check in and see who it is and show you guys, because I know that's always exciting. But it was Soleil, and I was not interested because she does not scream hippiecore, to me at least. So I said goodbye. Well, I didn't say goodbye, I just left. But here we are, and actually the build is complete. So let's go take a look. I'm going to show you it in the daytime as well as the nighttime, because the lights and things that glow are pretty cool when you look at the whole build in the night. But here it is in the daytime. I love how you can see the balloons as you approach. That's kind of what I was talking about before. I think it's cool that you can't see the actual build when you're just walking around. I think that really like helps with the illusion a little bit. It's just like a forest, and then you're like, whoa, wait, no, there's a festival down there. I also want to say one thing that I didn't mention is even the trees on the cliffs on the sides are stunted in a way that should make it look like a perspective illusion. here are some close-up shots for you. I really love how everything looks when it's blowing in the wind. I also think it looks way better since I fast-forwarded out of cherry blossom season. Yes, I told you this video was being filmed a long time ago. So here it is in the nighttime. Ooh, I left this part in because look, it's shooting stars. How perfect and cute for this build video that it's shooting stars. But here it is in the nighttime. I feel like this really brings out like the energy that I wanted it to have, and it looks really cool in the night. I feel like this is like the vibe that it's supposed to have, which is kind of sad because I do, when I have my dream address and this island is completed in the distant future, probably plan to have it in the daytime because I wanted it to be like colorful, like summer or late spring, like bright greens. But here are some shots of it in the nighttime for you so you can at least see it right now. And that's it for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you give a like down below and subscribe if you have not. I really appreciate those of you who have watched all of my videos. It really means a lot, especially because it's really hard for me to find time to do this, but I want to because I enjoy it. So it's really rewarding to see people actually engage. So like I said, please subscribe and like if you like it because it makes me really happy, and I just want to be friends with everybody. Hit me up on Twitter if we're not friends because I just want to be your friend. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye!